Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1981 Detroit Tigers season replay. Today's matchup is between the Detroit Tigers and the Seattle Mariners at the Kingdome. On the mound for Detroit is Jack Morris, whose record is 4-2 with a 4.92 ERA. And pitching for the Mariners is Rob Dressler, whose record is 4-6 with a 4.32 ERA. And so I think yesterday's live game was, for the most part, a success, given that I had some new software to try to work out the kinks kind of on the fly. So maybe not as smooth as I hoped it would be, but it was still a lot of fun. I want to take a moment just to say thanks to those of you who showed up and watched that game. And at the end of the game, I gave away a 2021 Diamond King rookie card of Alec Boehm, which it was also a short print, and that card went to Bill Hicks, so congratulations to Bill and Aiden, and got that out in the mail to you guys earlier today, so you can expect that in a few days. All in all, a lot of fun. I want to try to do another live game on the All-Star Day, which will be July 10th, so we're going to try again to do it then and hopefully work out the kinks completely. And so while we were doing that game, there was a couple questions from the chat room, which was asking me to show who was available for free agents. And I couldn't do that, unfortunately, while we were live. But to show real quick, here is the available players, specifically the hitters here with Bobby Bonds and Rick Monday leading the probably the two best available hitters, and then Tony Armas, who we let go, Greg Nettles, a bunch of other solid players who maybe are past their prime, like Jose Cruz Sr. And then if you take a look here, you'll see a lot of these other players are leftovers from the draft, players who did not get drafted, but maybe could find a home somewhere. None of these players really jump out at me. John Walkenfuss, of course, we traded away to the Cubbies, I think, and it looks like they finally cut him loose. And I'm a big Johnny Walkenfuss fan. I hated to get rid of him, but we just didn't need him. And if I had a role for him, I would pick him up once again. Here's the pitchers. All of these pitchers, with the exception of Bob Lacey, who we cut loose because he could not get a single out for us. Everyone else is all pitchers who were not drafted in the June draft from just a couple of days ago. And then also it was requested that I show who I have available in the minor leagues. So here are the hitters for Detroit in the minor leagues. And this is after the adjustments that I've made after the draft. So once we drafted Todd Benzinger and Shane Turner, I went ahead and advanced some players from AA to AAA and single A to AA, just to give them, maybe that half a season seasoning where maybe they can improve a little bit before we go into the off season. So those are the hitters, and let's take a look at the pitchers real quick. Same thing holds true here. I adjusted all of these players so that they were advanced if that was what was the best thing for them. If you look at my AAA, we really got some solid players coming up the pipe here. There's Jeff Robinson, who was never really a good pitcher, but we do have Danny Jackson. We got Chuck Finley. We got David Cohn, who we just drafted, and David Wells. Mark Leiter, a solid major league starter. But other than that, not a lot to really get excited about in AA or AAA, but we got to make do with what we've got. And so we're going to go ahead and just get going with today's game as we headed to Seattle for the first time this season. And it's a 4-game series against the Mariners. I appreciate everyone following along. Like and subscribe if you enjoy this content. We're going to do our background info on the Mariners manager, Maury Wills. He took over the role in 1980 and was fired in 81. And we're going to cover him momentarily. He does a lot of great things. He's widely considered to be one of the worst modern-day managers of all time. So we're going to talk about him momentarily here. All of our bullpen is available as we have Jack on the mound after Bruce Robbins pitched okay yesterday. He lowered his ERA by a full run. And here is the lineup against Rob Dressler for Detroit. Alan Trammell is listed as tired, so we took him out of the lineup. We put in Mark Wagner. Just kind of adjusted everyone up a notch because Trammell was batting cleanup, and put Mark Wagner there in the ninth spot. Okay, but we'll go ahead and do the official lineup rundown. Here is the Tigers lineup for today. Batting leadoff and playing second base is Sweet Lou Whitaker. Batting second and in center field is Ricky Henderson. Batting third in left field is Kirk Gibson. Batting cleanup and at first base is Jason Thompson. Batting fifth and catching is Lance Parrish. Batting sixth and DHing is Reggie Jackson. Batting seventh and at third base is Tom Brookins. Batting eighth in right field is Gary Hancock. And batting ninth at shortstop is Mark Wagner. On the mound for the Mariners is Rob Dressler. He made 36 starts last year. He went 10-22. He was bad, and yet he got his 10th win in his last start against Detroit last year. So that just tells you where we were at in September. This is his 13th start. He's 4-6 with a 4.32 ERA, much better than his 1980 season. 33 walks, 32 Ks. Again, big-time improvement over the 109.82 that he had in the 1980 season. He had 18 wild pitches and 8 complete games. So doing a pretty decent job. Here is the Mariners out defensive alignment as we have a bad defensive player left. Oh, that's Signs. That's the 18-year-old out there in left. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started. Here is Sweet Lou leading off. And Lou hits it right back to Dressler. 1 down. Next up is Ricky Henderson. Henderson hits a sharp fly ball to center. That's caught by Benitez. 2 down. Gibby's up next. And he's going to pop it up into foul ground on the first base side, and a 1-2-3 inning. And we go to the bottom of the first. Here is the Mariners lineup today. Batting leadoff and playing first base is Julio Cruz. Batting second at second base is Harold Reynolds. Batting third and at DH is Mickey Brantley. Batting cleanup in left field is Ricardo Signs. Batting fifth in center field is Juan Benitez. Batting sixth and catching is Bud Bowling. Batting seventh and at shortstop is Spike Owen. Batting eighth at third base is Kim Allen. And batting ninth in right field is Joe Simpson. And here's Jack Morris's numbers. He has not been great. 4-2 with that 4.92 ERA. This is his 13th start. 36 walks, 41 Ks. Opponent's only batting .250, but his walks are definitely on a pace to be more than, I guess maybe about 20 walks more than last season. And he gave up 4 runs in his last start against Texas and 5 against the Royals. So 9 runs against 2 teams that were really at the bottom of the West. And having said that, the Mariners, as you look at the Tigers' defensive alignment, Mariners are in second place. So a pretty solid comeback by them. Real quick, we'll talk about Maury Wills, and then we'll get on to the bottom half of the first. So yeah, as I mentioned, after Wills retired, he spent a little time as a baseball analyst for NBC. And then he also managed in the Mexican League. It's kind of like the Winter Mexican League for 4 years. And he did win a championship there. So he let people know that he really felt he was qualified to manage a MLB team. And he claimed that he could take any last place team and make them a division champion within 4 years. So the Giants made him an offer, a 1-year deal, but he turned it down. And then finally in 1980, the Mariners fired Darryl Johnson, who was their very first manager. And they fired Johnson, they hired Wills, and that pretty much set things in motion for him to be, again, what is really considered an unparalleled managerial career. He's really well known for his variety and frequency of his mistakes. It wasn't just that Wills couldn't do the in-game stuff. He didn't have any real skills for communicating with his players. He once said that he was going to make his second baseman, Julio Cruz, his permanent shortstop. And then 24 hours later, Cruz was back at second base. So he never really put any time in with his players, face to face. And then he made a number of gaffes in the field. He called for a relief pitcher, although there was nobody warming up in the bullpen. Then he held up another game for about 10 minutes while he was looking for a pinch hitter. And he even left a spring training game in the 6th inning just to fly to California. His most celebrated incident was in 1981. This was right after the season started. He he ordered the Mariners grounds crew to make the batter boxes 1 foot longer than regulation, so like an extra foot closer to the mound. And the A's manager, Billy Martin, who was a solid in-game manager, but he destroyed more careers than maybe any other manager. So, and I'm sure you know now that I'm not a big fan of Billy Martin as a manager. But Billy Martin did notice that something was not quite right about the way the batter boxes were set up. So he asked the home plate umpire to investigate. And under questioning from the umpire, the head's groundkeeper admitted that Wills had ordered the adjustment. And Wills claimed that he was trying to help his players stay in the box, but Billy Martin suspected that given the large number of breaking ball pitchers on the A's staff, that Wills really wanted to give his players an advantage. So the American League suspended Wills for 2 games and fined him a whole $500. And so they basically compared it to like making the base pass like 88 feet apart instead of 90. So those were just a few examples of what a terrible manager Maury Wills was. So he got fired shortly after that as Julio Cruz leads off with a base hit. All that speed there in first. And then actually Maury Wills went on to have like a music recording career. So I guess he still found a way to stay in the limelight as Reynolds hits a fly ball to center field. There's the first out, 1 down. Here's Mickey Brantley, Michael Brantley's dad, right? He's DHing today. And Cruz does steal second base. So runner on second, 1 down for Brantley. And Brantley's going to pop it up to Brookins at third. Brookins makes the play. There's 2 down. And here is Ricardo Saenz. Look at this, guys. Leading the team with 9 home runs and only 1 other batter in the lineup has a home run. That is insane. And yet they're in second place as Signs strikes out. First K for Morris. And Jack gets out of the inning, goes to the top of the second. No score. Jason Thompson, 2 for 9 against Dressler. And Dressler walks Thompson. So runner on first. Lance Parrish. Definitely double play candidate. Oh, I guess it won't matter if you strike out. 1 down. Here's Reggie turning this season around, batting .225 now against righties and 200 overall. Still no home runs. Ground ball to second. And there's the double play. So we go to the bottom of the second inning. Juan Benitez leading off the inning. Morris walks Benitez. You walk the leadoff batter. That usually means trouble. Bud Bowling, the catcher, is up next. And Benitez steals second. Second stolen base for the Mariners. That's their, if you can't hit home runs, that's their game. Take the extra base when they can. Bowling hits a fly ball to the left, and Gibby makes the play. 1 down. It's going to bring up Spike Owen. Owen batting .206 versus righties. And Benitez steals third. What is the deal here with Parrish? Let's pull in the corners. If it's hit to one of them, we'll go home. If not, we'll just we'll give up the run. And it doesn't matter. It's a base hit anyway. And it's 1-0 Seattle. Speaking of speed, here's Kim Allen. Allen hits a ground ball to Wagner, and the defense turns 2. So we go to the top of the third, 1-0 Seattle. Here's Tom Brookins leading off the inning. Ground ball to second. 1 down. No hits for the Tigers so far. Dave Stieb pitched yesterday in the live game and shut the Tigers down on just 4 hits as Hancock grounds out for the second out. So 2 down for Mark Wagner. And Wagner strikes out. Wow. I just can't understand why we cannot put together one complete game where everything goes as planned. Simpson, leading off the bottom of the third, gets a double. 3 hits for the Mariners now. And Simpson's in scoring position for Julio Cruz, kind of playing out of position. He's at first base today, but he's such a good fielder that it doesn't really affect him to play at first. Cruz pops up to short. There's 1 down. Here's Harold Reynolds. He must be a rookie. What is he? He's only 20. In fact, I think most of the players in this lineup for Seattle are under 22 years old. Reynolds pops it up to Wagner at short. There's 2 down. It's going to leave it up to Mickey Brantley to drive in that run. And Morris walks Brantley. So 2 down for the cleanup hitter, Ricardo Signs. He's only 19 years old, batting only .207, but he's got 9 home runs. And he strikes out for the second time this game. Morris gets out of another jam, and we go to the top of the fourth. 1-0 Seattle. Top of the lineup with Sweet Lou once again. Ground ball to short. 1 down. Next up is Ricky, and Ricky pops it up. Unbelievable. Oh, and the shortstop drops the ball. So an error on Spike Owen. We've got Ricky at first. The most prolific base runner, stolen base guy ever, and he steals second base. The speed is only 88. That's unbelievably low. Should be like a 99. As Henderson steals second. It's going to give Gibby a chance here to drive him in. Nope. He's going to pop it up into foul ground. And there's 2 down. It's going to leave it up to JT. Dressler walks Thompson, his second walk. That will bring up Parrish, who's 1 for 10 now against Dressler in his career. Ground ball to third, and that's it. So we cannot take advantage of the error and the walk. Tigers still don't have one damn hit. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Here's one, Benitez, leading off the inning. Morris strikes him out. 3 Ks for Morris. Next up is Bud, and he walks bowling. So you get a strikeout, you get a walk. Next up is Spike Owen. Flips it into left center field, falls in for a hit. So Owen makes up for his error. And it's first and third. We got to pull the infield in again. Will it make a difference? Probably not. Yep. That should score everybody. Oh, Owens holds it third. It's 2-0. Pull the infield in again. And Morris hits the number 9 hitter. So, all this speed on the base pass, it isn't going to matter if I try to go for a double play. So, let's pull everybody in again. Ground ball to Whitaker. And they do manage to turn 4-2-3 double play. But the Mariners do get another run on the board. It's 2-0. Tigers getting their asses kicked by Rob Dressler. Jackson flies out to right center field, 1 down. Here's Tommy. Ground ball to first. Gary Hancock, ground ball to short. The Tigers are hitless through 5. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Harold Reynolds will lead off the inning. Reynolds hits a ground ball to Wagner. There's 1 down. Next up is Mickey Brantley. Fly ball to center. There's the second out. It's going to leave it up to Ricardo Sainz. He struck out both times. This time Morris decides to walk him. So runner on first. And then Benitez hits a ground ball to second, and Whitaker boots it. First and second now for Bud bowling. Morris almost at 100. There's a base hit to right. It's 3-0. Morris walks. Allen hits a ground ball to short. We go to the top of the 6th. We're going to flip it over to the in-game stats. There's nothing to see here. I guess Thompson, player of the game, 2 walks. Nothing else to really talk about. Dressler walks his 3rd batter. It's Wagner this time to lead off the inning. It's going to bring up Sweet Lou, and he strikes him out. It's a walk in a strikeout type of game. Another strikeout, and then a fly out by Gibby. We go to the bottom of the 6th. 3-0 Seattle. Joe Simpson leading off the bottom of the 6th. Pops out to Whitaker, 1 down. Cruz strikes out. And Reynolds pops out. So 1-2-3 inning. We go to the 7th. Here's JT. Walked both times up. There's a ground ball to second. Little blooper into center field. Caught. 2 down. And Reggie pops up into foul ground on the first base side. 7 hitless innings for Dressler, a guy who went 10-22 last year. Brantley hits a home run. Ricardo Sainz strikes out. Benitez pops it up. And Bowling hits it right into the dirt. And that's the end of the inning. We go to the eighth. 4-0 Seattle. Brookins strikes out. Hancock strikes out. And a ground ball to second. And another 1-2-3 inning. So, Dressler is going to get a chance to go for a no-hitter. This will be the most shameful game of the season, as we're going to bring in Capizzello to face Spike Owen. Capizzello cannot get anybody out. Another base hit. Another walk. Ground ball to second. Base hit to right. Another hit. Nope. That's a ground ball to second. And a strikeout. All right, folks, this is what it's come down to. Final 3 outs. We got Whitaker, we got Ricky, and we got Gibson. And none of them have given us any idea that we could possibly get a hit, as Whitaker walks and a balk. And there's the hit. So, what a bummer. At least it could have been something that made me not hate this game so much today. There's the second hit. And it's 7-2. And that's going to do it. They're not even going to let Dressler complete the game. They're going to bring in Carlos Diaz. This is his 16th game, 0-1, 374. 15 Ks in 21 innings pitched. Opponents are only batting .229 against him. Pretty solid. And that might be the game right there. So, just a shitty game. And this is no fun for me anymore, to be honest. As the Reds are offering us... I mean, why not take this deal to get rid of Mickey Hatcher's salary? I guess it's the major league minimum. Eddie Milner, career minor leaguer at this point. And, I mean, not any better than what we have. Rafael Santo Domingo. I love that name. But as a shortstop, it doesn't really offer us anything. So, okay, let's take a look at the standings. Seattle tied for first place, making a serious run at the Angels. That would be amazing if they did win, to be honest, the division. Okay, and then it looks like Bert Hooton and Vance Law. Oops, a couple injuries. Let's pull up the box score and get out of here. Come back tomorrow. I mean, it's so disappointing. I mean, like, I would have gladly given up a no-hitter. I mean, that would have at least made that game worth losing. But we have our so-called ace on the mound, Morris, who walks 5, strikes out 5. I mean, just absolutely pathetic. George Capizzello is useless. Managed 2 hits. We had 6 hits in 2 games. A team with Whitaker, Henderson, Gibby, Thompson, Parrish, Reggie, Gary Hancock. You know, like I don't get it. You know, I've never done this before. We're going to do it today. Nobody gets player of the game. Just no one deserves it. You lose like this, you don't deserve it. So that's going to be it. We're going to come back tomorrow. Game 2 of the 4-game series. We'll see you then. Have a good night.